Hey everyone, and welcome to Knights of the Nerds Table. I am your host Josh, and today I'm going to tell you everything you should know before watching The Eternals in theaters. So here we are, about a week away from Marvel's third film since the start of Phase 4 in the cinematic universe, and you might be asking yourself, who the heck are the Eternals and how do they fit into Phase 4? This is a fair question even for a seasoned comic book fan, because the Eternals had a limited run of comics in the mid-70s and 80s and had a slight reboot in 2006, so they're not exactly what you would call mainstream heroes despite their insane strength and power. Well, to answer that question, we are going to have to take a trip to a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, so not quite the same, but we are going to be going back in time quite a ways. Millions of years ago, extremely powerful cosmic beings called Celestials performed different experiments on the Earth and its inhabitants. Through those experiments, the Eternals and the Deviants were created.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice.
The Eternals look like humans and are mostly good. On the flip side, Deviants are more mutations or beast-like creatures that are evil. We know that this movie is split into two parts, with the first being about the Eternals' origins and the second being about the Eternals now in a post-Thanos world. It will be interesting to see how Marvel answers the questions of where these wildly powerful characters have been during all the activities of the previous three phases in the cinematic universe. In the comics, the Celestials simply just told the Eternals to stay out of it unless it involved the Deviants specifically, and I imagine this movie will follow a similar concept to offer up an explanation for the Eternals' absence thus far. One still must wonder if maybe they did play a part somewhere along the lines, but just didn't reveal themselves. I am looking forward to seeing all of this play out in theaters on November 5th. So have we seen any Celestials or Eternals in the Marvel Cinematic Universe already? In short, yes, we have. Although not explicitly announced in any of the movies, Thanos is of Eternal descent and is an Eternal/Deviant hybrid, hence his dashing good looks, of course. Marvel has certainly been known to adjust details from the comics to fit whatever narrative they are trying to portray. However, it is interesting to note Thanos' bloodline in the comics regardless of if it is the case in the movies or not. The only other example of a Celestial we've seen in the movies so far is Peter Quill's or Star-Lord's father Ego. Ego specifically calls himself a Celestial and displays an incredible amount of power. He also shows us that not all Celestials have good intentions. Some are selfish and just want their son to help them take over the entire cosmos by consuming planets inside of them. Ugh, gross. This shows us that not all Celestials are a force for good, and that most likely not all Eternals are forces for good either. Humans often mistake Eternals as gods throughout the comics, and this causes for some interesting conflicts with the Greek gods of Greek mythology. On a personal note, I am curious to see if this is explored in the movie because I'm a big fan of Greek mythology and would love to see them make their way into the Marvel movie. The Greek gods do make appearances throughout the comics, so this is certainly an opportune moment to at least acknowledge their existence in the universe. Time will tell which direction Marvel is taking us in next. Now that we've covered the basics, let's meet the Eternals and talk about their powers. Each Eternal possesses a unique ability. They're all derived from the same cosmic power source. The Eternals can harness their cosmic powers together to create one big all-powerful Unimind, which just basically amplifies their powers. First up, we have Sersi, who has the power to manipulate matter. Pretty cool. Thena, not to be confused with Athena, can manifest weapons from her hands. There's Icarus, who shoots lasers from his eyes and has the power of flight. Stop me if you've seen this before. Kingo summons cosmic power, again, cosmic power, whatever that means, to blast beams from his arms. Pew pew, pew pew. Sprite wields the ability to cast a bunch of illusions and is known to be sort of mischievous. Sounds like someone we know. Kari is a speedster who is also pretty witty and smart. Ajak is kind of unique because Ajak can heal. Gilgamesh has superhuman strength and is physically the most daunting, strongest of the Eternals. Then there's Phastos, who is pretty sweet in his own right and can invent, just create, assemble things, random inventions out of technology around him. Druig manipulates the mind control, always a solid power. And then last but not least, we have Dane Whitman, who is technically not an Eternal, but does eventually become a hero in the comics known as the Black Knight. He's a member and at times a leader of the Avengers, and I imagine we're going to be seeing quite a bit of him in future movies. Well, that about does it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button, let us know in the comments below, and subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next time on Knights of the Nerds Tape.